Beautiful. One more swing side to side. And then the next time you come over to one side, place the roller onto the hip bone and then drag it across. So think hip bone to hip bone. We're going to just put a gentle pressure on, drag it across, and then take it the other way. Awesome. One more side to side. And then as you come back to your original side, move it up just a little bit. So now you're going to find that softer tissue right above that hip bone place. So in that softer tissue, press in, drag it across, press in, drag it across, and allow a little bit of softness in your belly here. So we want to kind of let the tissue, the skin, and the fat kind of drag with the foam roller a little bit if we can. Nice. One more drag side to side. Awesome. And then when you're ready, we're just going to set the roller down onto the ground and sit our butt directly onto the roller. So come down in a way that works good for you, nothing fancy, but sit your butt onto your roller and then step your feet out so that they're in a nice wide configuration and just start to find some windshield wipers. Awesome. One more windshield wiper each side, and then step your feet in just a little bit closer. So heels a little closer to the roller, legs about hip width distance apart. And then we're just going to start with the right leg. So we're going to let the knee drop out and in. Wonderful. One more out and in. And then we're going to pick that knee up. So see if you can get a little basket weave handhold, pick the knee up and then let your hands do the heavy lifting. So your arms are going to draw the knee in circles. And then draw those circles the other way. Beautiful. Set that foot down. We're going to take it to the other side. So the left knee is going to drop in and out. One more in and out. And then as it bring it back in, catch your little basket weave, pick that knee up, let your hands do the work here. Draw your knee in circles, go in one direction. Beautiful. Draw your knee in circles, go the other way. Great. And then when you're ready, set that foot down, step your feet to a nice wide configuration, back to those windshield wipers. And then once you feel like you've got your hips in a good position or your feet in a good position, start to add on rolling side to side. So we're just going to roll across the glutes. Take it at a pace that works good for you. Beautiful. Now, the next time you come over to the right, stay on that. And we're just going to kind of let our body weight sink and settle in for a second. So almost imagine you're letting your knee get nice and heavy, your hip get nice and heavy. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then if it feels good to do so, you'll start to rock forward and back or up and down. Awesome. One more up and down. And then we're going to take it back to center, over and across to the other side. So we're going to start by just finding the side glute, hang out there for a second, let your hip get heavy, let your knee get heavy. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then from here, start to find that rock up and down. Beautiful. One more rock up and down. And then we're going to come back to center. And now we're going to take it into a figure four. So we're going to go a little bit further and deeper. So extend your left leg nice and long. Bring your right leg across the left. Get your figure four set up first. And then hands behind you to support. Slide that left leg in. Push into your fingertips. Lift your chest up towards your shin. Take a nice big breath. Now, this might be enough. You might choose to stay here and breathe, but if it feels good and you want to get deeper into those glutes, you're going to keep that figure four position, lean over to the right, and then find a rock up and down. Awesome. One more rock up and down. And then when you feel ready, bring it back to center, hands to the ground, release your left foot, step the right foot off, give both knees a nice little bounce, make sure everything feels okay. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So left leg is going to come across the right, slide your right leg in, push into your fingertips, lift your chest, make sure that feels like a good position. If this is enough, stay right here. If this feels good, but you want more, lean over to the left and then find your rock up and down. Awesome. One more rock up and down. And then when you're ready, bring it back to center, slide that right leg long, step the left foot off, give your knees a little bounce, and then staying seated on your roller. So just adjust your sits bone so that it feels like a comfortable position with a nice little bend in the knees. Grab hold of that right thigh muscle and just start to twist and turn the thigh muscle. Twist and turn up towards the hip crease. Twist and turn down towards the knee. One more twist and turn up and down. And then when you're ready, we're going to take it to the other side. So catch hold of the thigh, twist and turn up towards the hip crease, down towards the knee. Beautiful. One more twist and turn up and down. And then when you're ready, hands to the roller, pick your butt up off the roller. We're going to move that roller right up underneath the shoulder blades. So we're going to lower down with control. Once you've got that roller underneath the shoulder blades, crisscross your arms and rock yourself a little side to side. The next time you rock over to the right, stay there, lean in just a little bit, take a nice big breath. Cool, and then if it feels good to do so, push into your feet, lift your hips up just a little bit and give about 2-inch roll up and down. Lovely, one more time up and down, and then bring your butt down, take it to center, switch the cross in your arms and come back to that rock side to side. Great, and now the next time you rock over to the left, stay there, lean in just a little bit, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then if it feels good to do so, push into your feet, lift your hips up and rock up and down about 2 or 3 inches, just a small bit of movement. One more rock up and down. And then when you're ready, set your butt down, come back to center, uncross your arms. Arms are going to either be in goalpost arms or support the head. And then we're going to lift the butt up and take that big roll from the shoulder blades all the way up to the tops of the shoulders. One more big roll up and down. And then as you come back to the shoulder blades, set your butt down onto the ground, lift yourself up with control. And now we're going to swing the legs out. So we're going to get that little zigzag seat roller out to the side. So whatever leg is in front, that's the side the roller is going to start with. And we're going to take it into our mermaid. So we're going to roll out, get a nice bit of reach through that top arm. And what we're shooting for here is stretch through the side body and then down to where the side body meets the hip. Lift yourself back up, take a little counter stretch. Hand to the roller, lean yourself out, get a little reach through the fingertips, anchoring your hip down towards the ground. Lovely, bring it back up with control, take a little counter stretch. One more time, just like that, hand to the roller, roll out, find that nice long side body. Beautiful, lift back up with control, take your counter stretch, and then we're gonna rotate. So both hands are gonna find the roller, bring the roller a little closer to you, push into the roller, lift your chest, think about drawing the shoulder blades closer to each other. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then release, we're going to rotate to center. We're going to take the foam roller with. So foam roller is going to come out in front, and then we're just going to take 3 gentle rolls forward. So heart facing forward, legs in that zigzag position, roll yourself out, push into the roller, bring yourself back up with control. Roll yourself out. Push into the roller, bring yourself back up with control. We're gonna do that one more time. Roll yourself out. Push into the roller, come back up with control. And now we're gonna place the roller off to the side and swing your legs out and around. So we're gonna reset our zigzag seat, take a second, make sure everything feels like it's in a good position. And then into our mermaid. So we roll out, top hand reaches up, find some length through the side of the body. Lift up, take a little counter stretch. Beautiful, hand to the roller, roll out, find that nice long side body. Nice, lift up and take your counter stretch. One more time, hand to the roller, roll out. Beautiful, lift up, take your counter stretch. And then we're gonna rotate, hands are gonna find the roller, but the roller comes closer to the body. Push into the roller, lift your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Awesome, unwind and take the roller with you. So roller's out in front of that front leg, and then away we go, rolling out with a bit of control, drawing it back up in nice and slow. Roll it out. Push into the roller to come back up. One more time, roll it out. Push into the roller to come back up. Nice. And then we're going to take it into a tabletop position. So you rearrange your roller and your body in any way that works good for you. Roller is going to be underneath the hands, knees in line with the hips, and then we're going to do our reverse breath cat-cow. So we're going to exhale to drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tail. Inhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin in. Exhale to lower the belly. Inhale to round the back. Slow it down just a little bit so you can really tune in and focus on the breath. The breath is maybe the most important thing here. So we exhale, let the belly drop. Inhale, round the belly. 2 more cycles of breath. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, take it into puppy pose. So hips are going to stay fairly in line with the knees. Arms are going to reach forward. Let the chest and forehead drop down. Take 3 nice big breaths. Cool. And then when you're ready, gently draw yourself up nice and strong. And now we're going to place the roller underneath the belly button. So we're going to make sure that we keep everything supported here. Start by finding your elbows and forearms down to the ground. Line the roller up with the belly button, but barely any body weight on the belly button itself. So we want the knees and the toes down, elbows and forearms down. Find that alignment so you're in that soft tissue of the belly, keeping the knees and the elbows on the ground, and then just start to draw your hips side to side, but your belly button is still barely touching the roller. So we want to make sure we find that good sense of control here. Cool, and then see how it feels to just soften a little bit, bringing a little tiny bit of body weight on, but the arms are still supporting, the knees are still supporting. Nice, and then see if you can bring just a little bit more body weight in. Soft through the belly, arms are supporting, shoulders are strong, knees are nice and strong. One more little rock side to side, and then you're going to see, can you soften your belly all the way? Let your knees get a little soft and heavy. Now allowing just a little bit of body weight to come on, and then notice. Notice your breath. You might feel that little quiver in your belly or that little heartbeat. As long as it feels like it's awkward but not painful, you're in a good position. But if you've got anything going on in your abdomen and this does not feel beneficial, come right off. If it feels okay, take 2 more nice big breaths. Great, and then we're gonna firm the shoulders up, push into the elbows and forearms, draw yourself up and away, and now we're gonna move the roller down just a little bit, so we're gonna line the roller up with our hip points. So those front bony hip protrusions, elbows and forearms are gonna stay solid, knees are gonna stay on the ground, so we find that location first, and then come back to that little rock of the hip side to side. So think touch one hip bone and then the other. Wonderful. And now we're going to take it a little bit further. So we're going to roll over onto the right side, finding that front hip pocket area. So think where the entry of your front pocket would be. And then once you feel like you found that point, a gentle roll up and down. So let your elbows and forearms support you, toes on the ground support you. Beautiful. One more rock up and down, and then we're going to stay in that central location and then see if you can just rock your hips a little side to side. So we're keeping a little bit of body weight on that front hip pocket area. Awesome. One more little rock side to side, and then with control, start by bringing the knees down so everything is supported. Roll across, line up the hip points, find that central location, and then come back to that little rock of the hip bone side to side. Cool. And then when you're ready, roll over onto the left hip or think where that front pocket would be. And then once you feel like you're lined up and everything feels good, nice rock up and down. Awesome. One more rock up and down, and then you're going to find that center point and then just gently rock the hips side to side. Beautiful. One more rock side to side, and then with control, bring yourself back to center. We're going to prop ourselves up so that we can move the roller right down to the thighs. So now coming below that hip point, and then touch down onto the thighs, elbows and forearms down, toes to the ground. Stick with the tops of the thighs and just give a nice good roll up and down. Think 2 or 3 inches of roll. One more roll up and down, and then we're going to rock over to the right just a little bit. So we're going to lean over to the right. So you might choose to push into the left hand so you find the outer edge of that right thigh, and then give a nice good roll up and down. Great. And then when you're ready, bring it back to center with control. And we're going to take it right over to the other side. So push into your right arm, roll slightly onto the left side of the thigh, roll up and down. Nice. One more roll up and down. And then when you're ready, bring it back to center with control. And now we're going to either move the roller manually or slide yourself up or down, whatever works good for you. But we're going to move the roller down so it's kind of in the middle portion of the thighs. Once you found your way there, elbows and forearms down, toes to the ground, roll yourself up and down. Beautiful. Come to the bottom of that roll, bend your knees, swish your heels side to side. One more swish of the heels side to side, and then float your toes back down. And we're going to do that roll to the side of the thigh again. So we're going to roll over onto the right side. Elbows and forearms are going to help support, toes on the ground. Rock yourself up and down. One more up and down. And then bring it through center and right over to the other side. So push into the right arm, roll slightly onto the left, roll yourself up and down. Awesome. One more roll up and down. I found some feelings in there. Roll back to center, move your roller down to that bottom half of the thighs. And then once you're there, toes on the ground, elbows and forearms down, rock yourself forward and back. Nicely done. One more rock up and down. And then at the bottom of that roll, bend your knees, swish your heels side to side. Beautiful. One more swish of those knees side to side or heels side to side, and then float your toes down to the ground. Push your way all the way up and back. We're going to go into extended child's pose. So big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat, butt back to the heels. And then we're going to take the roller with, if you like, remove your glasses, set them somewhere safe. And we're just going to allow the forehead to rest gently on the roller. So forehead on the roller. Soften through the back of the body. So here we're getting a little stretch in the low back, a little stretch through the glutes, a little stretch through the thighs, but we also want to allow just a little time for the breath to come in. So take a nice generous breath. See if you can notice the breath in the back of your rib cage. Awesome. And then if it feels good, add on a little rock of the head side to side. One more rock of the head side to side. And then bring it back to center, gently push into the roller, lift your forehead up, glasses back on if you're blind like me. And then we're gonna leave our roller where it is, flip ourselves over so that we can swing our legs over the roller, so underneath the knee. And then once you found your way here, we're gonna lower all the way down to the ground. Pause for a second, let your knees find the back of the roller, readjust your tailbone, and then we're just gonna play around for a second with a little pelvic tilt here. So with that bent knee position, you're gonna press your low back into the ground, come back to the natural curve of your back. Press your low back into the ground, feel the backs of your knees press into the roller and release. Press your low back into the ground, feel the backs of the knees connected to the roller and release. And do about 2 or 3 more just like that, just finding a good pace that works good for you. One more time through. And then we're gonna release all that pelvic tilt, walk the roller in, and we're gonna place the roller underneath our butt. So you're gonna lift your hips up, move that roller underneath your butt so it's underneath the strong structure of your hip bones. And then once you've got your way here, just take it into that supported bridge. So feet in a nice soft position, knees fairly in line with the hips, arms out nice and wide. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Take one more breath. Awesome. Now hands are going to find the sides of the roller just to kind of keep it in place and make sure you feel good and supported. We're going to pick the right knee up and then stretch the foot up towards the ceiling. Now with a micro bend of the knee, so we want to keep that knee bent so we're not yanking too much against the back of the leg. You're just going to point your toe and draw some circles on the ceiling with your toe, going in one direction. Notice your center. So if you start to get wobbly here, firm up your center or make your circles a little smaller. Great, and then draw those circles, go the other way. Notice what that does. You gotta firm up your center, make sure everything stays in control. One more circle around, and then bend that knee, release your right hand, hug it into the chest with a light little squeeze, and then if it feels good to do so, extend your left leg nice and long. So now we're finding a stretch through the front left hip pocket area and a compression in the right hip pocket area. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Keeping the left leg long and soft. Push your right hand into push your right knee into your right hand. So now you're going to fire up the quadricep muscles just a little bit. Arm is going to be nice and strong. Hold on tight. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften, draw the leg back in closer to your chest. Take one more breath. And then we're going to release and switch. So right foot's going to touch down. Left knee is going to lift up, point that toe up towards the ceiling, but keep a bend in the knee. Grab hold of the roller so everything stays firm. And then we're drawing a toe in circle. So draw some circles on the ceiling, go in one direction. Solidify that abdomen. So we want to keep the hips nice and stable. Nice. And then draw your circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, pull the left knee into your chest. Get your hand hold that works good for you. Extend your right leg nice and long. Strengthen up that handhold, push your left knee into your hands. You're going to feel your quadricep muscles fire up. It's almost like you're trying to create a little space in that compression of the hip. Push your knee into your hand, hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, relax it, draw it into the chest. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then keep the left knee in, bring the right knee into meet. So readjust your roller so that it's still good underneath that broad bones of your hips. And then with a gentle handhold on the knees, draw your knees in circles, go in one direction. Draw your knees in circles, go the other way. Great. And then we're going to finish with one last little back bend. So step your feet down. Both legs are going to walk out nice and long. So the roller's underneath the hip bones. Legs are going to reach out nice and long. Flex your feet just a little bit so you feel a little anchored through your legs and the backs of the legs. And then reach your arms up and overhead and get a nice long reach. So think big good morning stretch. Reach through your fingers and reach through your heels. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath. Beautiful, with control. Hands are going to float down, step your feet in, lift your hips up away from the roller, release your hips down, and then just for a moment here, pause and notice your back. If it feels beneficial, take a couple little swishes of the knee side to side just to kind of soothe out the hips, soothe out the low back, make sure everything feels good. One more little swish of those knees side to side, and then we're going to start to find our way up to a standing position. Leave your roller on the ground, come up in any way that works good for you. And then once you're all the way up, take a nice big breath. Reach the arms up, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down, let your hands find the roller. And we're just going to finish with a little steam roll to the tops of the feet. So gently press into the roller, moving up towards the ankle and down towards the toes. Beautiful. One more up and down, and then leave that roller on the ground. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll on up to a standing position. Shrug out your shoulders. You guys are awesome. Be sure to drink plenty of water after doing all that work.